So a lot of you were asking me when I was going to do a video on Kim Porter, and I wanted to wait until after she had been buried, just out of respect for the littlest children. I didn't think that they needed to have this video aired and possibly see it prior to their mom's interment. So I wanted to just let some time pass before I said what I had to say because I have a lot to say. And I did not, now let me just put this out there. I did not personally know Kim, but I have known Diddy for most of his adult life. I'm talking over 25 years. And this video will include a lot about him, and a lot of questions will be answered in regard to Kim's death. I felt it was very important, and this is why I'm doing it. And I did pray over it. I prayed over it before I even started because I wasn't sure if I should do it. But I feel led to expose this man. This is the reason that Puffy named his company Bad Boy. He is a bad man. So let's start off with Kim. Okay, so she's being touted as the girlfriend and the baby mama of Diddy. And she died on November 16th. She was born in Atlanta, Georgia on December 16th, 1972, which makes her 46, not 47, which is widely reported in almost every news video, every news media. She was 46. Now, she first dated Al B. Sure in 1990, and she later gave him their first child, a son named Quincy Jones, born in 1991. And he was obviously named after the producer, Quincy Jones, who also was the one who discovered him in a talent contest. Kim was working as a receptionist at Uptown Records, which was Al's label at the time. He was being produced by Andre Harrell and put out on Uptown. And this is when she cheated on him. She was married to Al, and she cheated on him with Diddy, who in 1994 began his career at Uptown as a talent director. His card said A&R. He had a few titles when he was working there, but the main thing was that he was on the come up. So after working there for quite some time, he finally founded Bad Boy Records in 1993. And it was also in 1993 that his first biological child, Justin, was born to designer Misa Hylton Brim. Now, for Justin's 16th birthday, Diddy presented him with a $360,000 Maybach car. And his restaurants, Justin's, are also named after this son. In 1998, Kim bore Diddy a son, Christian Casey Combs. And it wasn't until 2001 that Diddy was ordered to pay her over $20,000 per month for child support. This was also, by this time, they said he had adopted, just to go back to Al B. Sure's son, they say he adopted Al B. Sure's son, Quincy. But I'm not sure if it was ever official, but he did raise him like his own. And he even threw Quincy a celebrity-studded birthday party and gave him 2 cars as his 16th birthday present. Now, Kim had an off and on again relationship with Diddy, which lasted from 1994 to 2007. But I'm going to tell you, they called it a relationship. I don't call it that. Back in the day, James Brown had a song called Can I Get a Witness? And in the song it says, sisters, if you love your man, be careful how you tell him that, or he will put you up in a corner and use you like a Sunday hat. The sad reality is that she was Diddy's doormat for 13 years. In fact, during their time together, when they got blessed with twin daughters Delilah and Jessie, who were born in 2006, 5 months before their birth, his daughter Chance was born to Sarah Chapman. Now, even though the birth of the twins upped Kim's child support to $150,000 a month, he also covered their education, insurance, and even legal fees. It wasn't until 2007 that he took responsibility for Chance, and that was October of that year. But a little known fact is that he also took out a $2 million life insurance policy on Kim and their children, despite him affording her tremendous assets and properties as well. Now, a little background on Diddy, because like I said, I know him. I know him very well. So it's not like I'm talking about somebody I don't know. I know this man. And like a lot of you Lost Tribe nigglets, Diddy has a type. Light skin and good hair. If you go through all the women he done been with, only one is dark skin. And a friend of mine, a male friend of mine, told me that the only reason Kim got a pass was because she had that good, what they consider quote unquote, good Indian hair. He also told his friend, who was my friend, that he would never marry a dark-skinned woman because he didn't want no black-ass, nappy-headed kids. Now, I never doubted he said this, because look at a picture of his mama hanging out with this other Lost Tribe negress, Lil Kim. That's self-hate to the nth degree. So he probably grew up with this mindset. And like I said, if you go through all the baby mamas and all the pictures, it's not a dark one in there. Only Kim. Only Kim. But moving on, in 2008, he, as far as his principles and morals go, he told the Daily Telegraph that he did not adhere to any specific religious domination. He said, I just follow right from wrong so I can pray in a synagogue, a mosque, or a church. I believe there is only one God. But the part that he left out, which many of us who know him know, is that the one God he believes in is himself. Now here are some questions for you to ponder. Why would Al B. Sure, Albert Brown, allow another man to adopt and raise his son if there was no issue at hand? Like I've said, Diddy is color struck. And even though Justin came out fairly light, he liked Al's son, and I believe Al was paid off. I believe that Diddy paid Al off during a time when his career was on the downward path, because he had a few hot records, and then you remember Al just kind of slipped out of sight. And but he also had that trumped up rape case and a few other things that might have contributed to it. But the fact of the matter is that Diddy raised this man's son. And to this day, Quincy considers Diddy his daddy. My other question is, there are only a handful of cases where the autopsy does not reveal the cause of death. Usually when people die, the whole point of the autopsy is to find out what killed them. It is very likely that we will never know what really killed Kim, because now she's already in the ground. All they have to rely on now is some tests they took while the body was still at the coroner. And if they couldn't find out at the coroner, I'm pretty sure the tests are going to come back inconclusive as well. Why? Because money can buy a lot of silence. This is no secret. But here is something y'all really, really need to think about. Remember the Promethean casket? The one that Aretha was buried in, and Michael Jackson and James Brown, all these high-profile people got this gold casket. Did y'all know, if you go on the website, it takes 2 weeks to manufacture the casket. You have to order the casket 2 weeks in advance. That's why Aretha body, if y'all go back to my video on Aretha, her body stayed up out of the ground for 2 weeks while they were waiting for this thing to get built. But Kim died on November 16th, and the casket was ready. Who ordered the casket 2 weeks before she died? Who does that? Think on that. And here you can see all the little features it comes with in case any of y'all want to place your order. But here is the final thing. Someone sent me this little post. And in it, it says that Kim was writing a tell-all book about Diddy. Now, I remember meeting the first receptionist at Uptown because I had went there to try to get some boys that I was representing. I was trying to get Andre to sign them. I don't remember the name of the group. But there was a girl that worked there named Champagne, and her and I became pretty tight, so we used to hang out together. And one of the places we used to hang out was a club called Bentley's, which was on, I think, 41st Street back in the day. Well, one night she came to pick me up in a brand new Mercedes. And I said, where you get this car from? Because I knew damn well Andre wasn't paying her that kind of money because he was a cheap old queen. And later that night, while we was at the club, after she had a few drinks in her, she told me, she said, I got the Mercedes to keep my mouth shut because I walked in on Diddy on his knees giving Andre oral. At that time, Diddy was called Puff Daddy. And she said, I walked in on Puff Daddy on his knees giving Andre oral sex. And Andre bought me the car, told me not to ever tell nobody. Now, Diddy also dated a girl from back in the day that I'm still close with. And I remember this girl telling me long ago that the reason she stopped dating him was because she got tired of him asking her to wear a strap-on during sex. Apparently, this was something that he enjoyed. So I'm wondering, was Kim going to expose all of this in this book? Because if you've been with someone 13 years, I'm sure there's a lot to tell. And if that was one of his things, it is very likely that she was going to blow it out the water. Now, according to this post, there was also a break-in at her house on the day she died, and 2 of her laptops were stolen, but it was kept hush-hush. And I don't care what you say. Cops can be paid off. The coroner can be paid off. Even the district attorney have been paid off. Judges have been paid off. People get paid off. My other question and answer is, they say Diddy and Cassie broke up not years ago, but months ago. I think it was in the summer they broke up. Why the hell, the day after his baby mama, who he claimed he loved and had a special bond with and all this shit, the day after, he's hanging out with Cassie. So you call up your ex when your baby mama died, the day after, to hang out? Now, I know Marvin said, sometime you need sexual healing, but I would think that if you are grieving, the last thing you need is an ex to come and wipe away the pain. There's usually a reason an ex is an ex. So this is my Q&A on the situation, and I want to just say, Kim, rest in power. It should be a lesson to those of you out there who think that, money can solve everything. It can't. Because with all the money this woman had, it didn't stop her from going to meet her maker. There is nothing in this world that is worth exchanging your soul. And when you dance with the devil, at some point, the music stops. Okay, that's all I have to say about this. I'm going to show y'all some scenes from the funeral, and I'll make a little commentary here and there during that time. Afterwards, I'll follow with prayer. Thank you, and God bless. So the funeral services started off Saturday with the family gathering at the Marriott in Georgia, and I don't know why Russell Simmons is there holding court like it's his kin. But anyway, so he's there, and you see a few of the other attendees. Some of these people are not even related to Kim, but I guess they got on a guest list. Celebrity's a hot ass mess. But here's Diddy. He showed up, and he's got all kind of servants and people to wait on him and console him. And I hope he's feeling guilty as hell. I hope he is, because he did not treat Kim right in life. So he got one heck of a nerve showing up looking all sad. But anyway, that's her as a child. She's a beautiful child. And the picture on the right, that's her and her mama. Her mother died in 2012. And so all throughout the program, there were pictures. There she is with Quincy, her son. And there at the bottom, she's kissing the devil. And okay, so here's the gold casket we talked about. And then here's Quincy saying a few words. And I'll be sure up there. They resurrected his ass from somewhere, and he's up there saying what he has to say. I hope he said why he gave his son away, but he probably didn't. And then they showed pictures. Oh, Kim. Kim there scaring the other guests with that Joker mask. Oh, that's not a mask. Okay, and there's Tashina Arnold and Kimora Lee Simmons. She was supposedly a good friend. And oh, Missy done left some horse bald-headed. But there she is. And why everybody grinning? This not autograph signing? But anyway, this is the mother's grave. Very classy. You can sit and talk to mama, and I guess they'll be sitting there talking to Kim. And here's Diddy, hoping lightning don't strike his ass. He's standing, he made sure he got far away from the trees. And I see one of his boyfriends showed up to support him. Usher is there with him. And then here he is with a Bentley look-alike to help him put some flowers on the grave. DJ Khaled, you would think this was the Grammy Awards. I get it. Y'all was on that show together, but I don't know. And then here's Candy Buress. And I don't know. I get the feeling that a lot of the so-called celebrities that showed up just to be seen, to see and be seen. They had the fireworks display at the end, which was nice. It was a nice send-off. Hopefully that's the direction she'll be going. And I ain't trying to throw shade, but when you lay up and have all them kids out of wedlock and all you live for is money, then that's your God. That's your God, people. But anyway, they looking up at the sky to see if she makes it. And then here's that gold casket I told you all about, and they loading it into the hearse. She was buried with her mama at Evergreen. I think I said that already. And then here, Diddy in his Mercedes, what do you call it, truck or van or whatever. And then I'm going to tell y'all something about the South. Kim was a hometown girl. They come out to support their people. But a lot of times funerals in the South, especially one of this magnitude, that's just another event. Because I lived in the South and ain't nothing to do down there. So when there's a big fancy funeral, everybody get all gussied up to come down there. And here Diddy waving to the people. And just like he did at Biggie's funeral, like the funeral was about him. It wasn't about you, brother. But a lot of people came there to see him because they fans. And this is what fans do. All right, I want to thank y'all for listening to me run my mouth. I'm sure I'm going to hear y'all's mouth regarding what I said. But just bear in mind some of these questions and answers. And just remember that I told you so. Even when I'm long and gone, I want y'all to tune in to my videos and remember that Sister Rebecca told y'all some of these things. Okay, Lord, I ask you to bless the listener, bless the people that tune in, bless those who criticize me, and even those who cuss me out, Lord. Thank you for my life. Thank you for blessing me. And I ask your covering over the little children, the twins, Delilah and Jesse. Just keep their heads on right and help them to grow up not worshiping money and thinking that that's the only thing important in life. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.